Sometimes there's a game that slips you by. Sometimes there's a game that has been out for years and you just haven't noticed just how good it can be. Kingdom New Lands is one of those games for me. And give me a few moments just to convince you that this game's worth a shot. Welcome guys, welcome to another video from Overbite Gaming. I am the Majestic Snare and today we're going to take a look at Kingdom New Lands, which is a game I've done a Let's Play on previous videos, many moons ago, but that was the base Kingdom game. This is Kingdom New Lands, and I just wanted to take you through a couple of reasons why I think it's a good game and a game worth your time and your money. It's a simple game, very sort of blocky, 8-bitty kind of graphics, but it's one of those retro-ish games where the movement is still quite fluid, so it is pleasing to the eye, although it being very simple looking. Now when I played this originally under the base game of Kingdom, it struck me as a good game, but nothing to write home about, kind of like pass the time. When I picked it up recently and started playing the New Lands version, I didn't realise how much it had actually changed, and the depth of the game and the mastery of it is quite phenomenal. Previously I thought it was quite simply how it looks, which is a 2D tower defense game almost, where you start with a camp in the middle of the map pretty much, and you have the ability to create reinforcements and defend yourself on a day-night cycle, where at the night time you have enemies come to attack you very quickly, and that increases each time they do attack. You know, each night they get stronger and more in number, so you have to balance out how much you expand your village and how much you sort of really reinforce what you have there. So in order to do that, it's all based on coinage. So the economy is kind of, you have villagers and they can do stuff for you. You can't actually tell them to do anything. You just give them a role and they will fulfill that role with a bit of AI, which for 99% of it is great. But sometimes you think, just please go over there and do that thing, I need you over there. But that's by the by. You will come across these villagers wandering in the wilderness and you'll recruit them with a coin. They'll come to your village and they'll wait for a job to be given to them. Whether it be archers who can hunt, being watchtowers, associate themselves with knights. You can also, once you get up to a certain tier of camp, you can actually have knights who you can send out and they'll go and destroy some nasties on the other side of the map. You can also have builders who will reinforce walls and they'll chop down trees for you, and they'll man the catapults that you can also build, and you can have farmers who can tend crops and produce money for you. There's so many different bits and pieces just on the basic level that this game can keep you enthralled, and before you've even realised you've spent far too much time playing this game. For such a simple 2D game like this, just in one, almost like a one-dimensional game of left and right. The controls are simply that, left and right, and you can push down on the keyboard to either drop a coin or give coins to do a certain thing. Okay, so you can upgrade things. That's where it comes into a bit of a balance of what you actually do in the game. You can either upgrade walls and watchtowers, increasingly, you know, to different kind of levels of ridiculousness. But the aim of each level is to build a boat and escape where you are onto the next island, the New Lands, as it were. So the actual process of building a boat is very expensive, so you have to get yourself a good economy running and work out the best way to do that. There are a number of different factors involved here, not to mention the guy with the donkey. I don't even know what his name is, but he comes along in the very first night. He'll give you some cash. You can send him off with a single coin. He'll bring some more cash the next morning if he makes it back to his own camp. And also, once you've tiered up your camp, you have what's like a council official or something, or a town crier looking man. You can give him cash and you get some extra in interest. It's like putting it in the bank and getting it back out again. But all of this plays off each other, because what you spend stuff on, you can't get that money back. The only thing you can do that on is when you chop down a tree and you'll get that cash back. So you can quite often find yourself money poor, people rich, which doesn't really help if they haven't got a job to do and creating more revenue for you. Now the reason why this gets deeper than you think it could is that it seems to me that more playthroughs you could do, it sort of unlocks more things. So you can find altars that will increase your archer strength, accuracy, and power. You can find other altars that will affect the strength of your barriers and things like that. Now, in the first island, which you're probably going to see most of the footage from on this video, it's kind of like the old original first game. When you move on to the next island, you start getting crazy monsters that are not just little guys running at you from the side of the map, but also flying monsters and huge ones that you can have to, really have some firepower to stop them coming through. How the game actually ends is either you escape on the boat and produce, the crown is safe kind of motif, and you get on a boat and go to the next land, which is a good way to start that next level because you start off with a bit of a head start with some builders, some archers already, and some cash hopefully before you sort of set up your next level. But also if you end up being attacked by these masses of hordes of nasty purple-faced minions, they can nick your crown, and if you lose your crown, that's it, game over, and you have to start from the start again. So it seems to me this game is such a simple thing, but the depth of it was kind of hidden to me, and it's not expensive on Steam. I think it's between like £7 to £10, but believe me, I've played this for well over 20 hours. It's the kind of thing that I can play very, very quickly and do it while I'm either waiting for something or throw in like half an hour here, half an hour there, and you can save and quit anytime. He doesn't stop you doing that. And I really do feel that it's one of those games that it's just a joy to play, for the reason we all play games, and that's to have fun. From my long time playing Warframe recently, it's been difficult to find a game that kind of grabs my attention as much as that game did. I was quite addicted to Warframe, but this kind of game was like detox for me. It was like completely and utterly nothing like Warframe, but I found myself really enjoying it. So much so that I wanted to, get to that next level. I wanted to get that little upgrade that would help me get on into the next land. Now, I've only unlocked the first 2 islands. I've been so close on the second one, but it wants me to kind of practice. I think it's making me practice at what stage I upgrade certain things and how I expand and which way I face against the enemies. And certainly in the second island it's a lot more difficult because you generally have them coming from both sides. You can't concentrate on one side or the other. There's just to me, it's a game that I really would suggest someone picking up. It's so simple controls, it's easy to pick up, but really difficult to get right and master. I've seen people with crazy like mounts and things that you're riding around on, and you can even change your what they call a blazon. It's like the crest that appears in the game with a few commands in the options menu. There's plenty of help on the Steam forums for bits and pieces and guides and tricks and tips and stuff like that. So if you're into this kind of game that's got a really simple aesthetic, really basic controls, but a really well thought out AI and progression, the music and the score and the atmospheric sound effects, phenomenal, just phenomenal. So without going into too much detail, because this game is fairly straightforward for you, you'll find yourself, if you're like me and like that progression in games, you will love this. You can have so much satisfaction when you've got so much money it's spilling out of your little purse, and you can just do whatever you want. You can upgrade everything, and you don't have to worry at night time when those hordes come along. You're stacked to the max. Some elements of it are random, as in the villagers' sort of camps are quite far away. That can screw you over a little bit. And if you do start to deforest in the wrong direction, you can end up removing a camp. So it kind of makes it impossible to get more people, and therefore you're kind of screwed against those later game enemies. You do have something in the game called Blood Moon, which is like an extra hard nighttime attack. And after that, the next night you have a free night of nothing, so you can kind of do your expansions then. But it's such an enjoyable game, and while I'm talking about it, I'm smiling. I want to get back and play it a bit more. I just really hope you get the time to give it a shot and see how you go. and let us know down in the comments what you think of this game, if you've played it yourself or you're thinking about picking up something new. This isn't a sponsored video by the developers or anything, I just like the game a lot. So guys, there's my view. If you want a number score for this game, I'd probably give it an 8. Lots of enjoyment, really simple, hasn't asked anything of me. It's a fantastic little piece of game art, and I can't wait for the new kind of expansion they're sort of working on. I think where it's going to be sort of co-op play. I don't know how that's going to work. I think it's called Two Kings or something, I can't remember. But it's going to be exciting. They keep on kind of expanding it. So definitely give it a shot. Guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. So we have videos coming out every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, so check back then for some more awesome content. And if you have liked today's video, please drop a subscribe down below to become part of the family, and a like if you did like what you see today. If you didn't like it and you got this far, I don't know what you're doing, but give us a dislike instead. I would not really like a dislike, but you know what I mean. Just tell me what you think. Anyway guys, catch yourselves next time on Thursday. Okay, love you. Bye bye.